Button push. Yay. So, when we record back to back, we're not going to have a whole lot of, like, business in the forefront, which that's what we're doing right now, just to kind of get ahead, especially since I broke my arm, well, my elbow, and don't know how or when the surgery or the PT is going to go, so we're just going to kind of jump right on into this.
Works for me.
So, welcome to our third mini episode of Blood Beneath the Moss. We're your hosts,
Abby
and Sammy. These mini episodes will include information on cases that there's not much evidence on. These people still need to get their light in the forefront. We want their names out there because someone knows something. Everyone deserves peace, especially in ways that most people couldn't fathom in these circumstances. So we're going to get started in this mini talking about the victims, Roberta and Elam and Maggie Long. So I'm going to jump right into it with Sister Roberta and Elam. She was born in St. Paul, Minnesota on August 23rd, 1950. She was raised in West Virginia near the northern panhandle. Roberta's parents were she was brought up very Catholic. So she was in a very strict...
She's a sister. I would say she was brought up Catholic.
Well, not everybody knows what that means. I call you sister and you ain't no fucking nun.
Absolutely not.
So most of her attributes as a human being they were reflected from her Catholic faith. She was known to be deeply empathetic, strong-willed, warm-hearted, loving, and extremely outgoing, very energetic in most cases. She was a sports and fitness fanatic. So she was all about being out, going, doing something, playing sports. That being said, she followed that when she went to college in West Liberty State. She helped at a local fitness and faith center for the youth, so she would teach them sports and be right there playing with them. And at the end and in the beginning, they would talk about, faith movements and stuff of that nature.
Okay.
While in college, she majored in theology and religion, which is common for someone who's thinking about pursuing faith in the convent and being a nun and stuff like that. She felt out of her faith and conviction that she needed to expand her heart and her studies and see where it led her, which is common, especially when you come from such a strict Catholic faith household. Let it be noted to the public that everyone sourced in her case when she joined the convent, again, it was out of conviction, not out of pressure. Like she felt like that was her spiritual lead to go forth and do. So in her early 20s, Roberta decided to join Mount St. Joseph's Catholic Church, where she became a postulant, which, for people who don't know what that is, that's a baby nun. And the technical term is that she hasn't given her vows to the church yet.
Yes. So
as a baby nun, she still wore the drab. She just didn't have, it's in a different color. So she would be in gray when a nun would be in black. You get it? Okay. Glad we had that.
I'm not Catholic, so I don't know.
That's why I called her a baby nun, so you could understand it instead of using the technical term. Roberta becoming a postulant, in a lot of people's opinion, was a bit out of character for the typical stereotype of a nun, because typical nuns are withdrawn for society, focusing strictly on the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Strictly on their vows, looking forward and leading in faith.
Okay.
She did it because she loved everyone, and embracing the societal norms wasn't her thing, but she felt like what she had in her heart she can give to everybody else.
Okay.
Which was awesome of her, in my opinion, because you don't see a lot of nuns that way.
No. Yes.
Roberta was well liked by her community and in the church as well, so much that she obtained the nickname Sister Robin. Sister Robin took her roles in her faith journey seriously. She continued helping others by teaching and guiding them in their faith journeys in RCIA and catechism, which catechism is like a schooling as you're coming up when you make your first communion and you have to get your confirmation to be a part of the church community. I was raised Catholic, so.
So was Cole, so he would know everything you're saying right now. I have no clue.
Okay, so RCIA is for people who are converting into the faith.
Okay.
So say you wanted to join the Catholic Church. You would have to take RCIA classes to convert from what you know as like non-denominational Baptist or whatever into Catholicism.
Okay.
And the catechism is for the kids coming up in the faith.
Gotcha.
All right. When she was not teaching, she was dedicated to living in prayer and service. Once a week, she was known to partake in a silent retreat, which is when you spend a complete day in silent prayer and fasting for the Lord. Well, the week leading up to her death, she felt the journey was taking a turn and she was on the fence for her vows. Sister Robin was taking more time in the spiritual retreats because of this shift.
Okay.
So she was going out more. Instead of doing it one or twice, she was doing it 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
To try to feel where her heart and her spirit were guiding her in the Lord's eyes.
I gotcha.
On June 13th, 1977, Sister Robin left the convent grounds and proceeded to go give her morning prayers. She walked to the hillside park area about 75 yards away from the convent itself to take part of her daily devotion and prayer. This is when she was maliciously attacked. From the coroner's report, she was attacked from behind. There was no signs of prolonged struggle, so that tells me her attacker was really quick. Like,
yes.
he had a motive. He was in, out, and on with life.
Okay.
She was very easily overpowered from the signs that she was drugged into a secluded grassy area, and in the grassy area, Sister Robin was sexually assaulted while she was still alive. The assault and to the time of her death by strangulation were about 10 minutes apart, according to the reports reading her core temperature and the sperm found inside of her. I don't know how they could tell this in 1977, but I honestly don't think I want to know. So we do know that when she was found, she was still mostly clothed.
Okay.
And she was only discovered a few hours after her death. So it was a very in and out, very quick, and very horrific event. This whole ordeal sent the whole community, the Catholic Church, and investigators into a frenzy, because when reading and researching this, it shocked me because her assailant killed her in broad daylight. Like, we're talking early hours of the morning, sun was up, everybody's going to and from.
Yeah, you said 75 yards from the convent itself. Like, this person was brazen, ballsy.
Like, you're right in front of a church and a religious community that live
sadistic.
Yeah. Like, this is very personal and very extreme in my eyes. There's also only one suspect in her murder still to this day. And the only reason he's a suspect is because he knew details that weren't shared.
Okay.
So, John Shoplack is a local man with extreme and extensive violent history. He allegedly went around town bragging to certain types of crowds, which, when you're trash, you usually tend to attract trash.
Yeah.
He started speaking key tales about Sister Robin's case that was never released to the public. So, he knew details that were purposely withheld to try and find.
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page. So, police brought him in for questioning. While holding, they obtained a blood sample from him. They used blood type testings, which we've talked about this before. It's like pre-DNA era, and cleared him. Now, that method of forensics has been considered less reliable as years went on because it's able to tell you what type of blood they have. But that's it. So, like, say if they found blood on her body that was AB positive.
Yeah.
And hers was B positive. And they took his blood samples and he came out O negative.
Yeah, they're just, you're good.
Exactly. So, it's not exactly something that you can truly hold true to, because there could have been more than one person or whatever the case may be, especially since how quick this went. Like I said, it's less reliable as the years went on. John died in 2019, so his DNA was never confirmed for this case, and the only way that it would be linked now is if they exhumed his body for possible tissue samples, which I doubt a judge will grant.
Yeah.
To be quite frank. And if there's any tissue samples left at this point in time,
yeah,
they would be very, very hard to use.
Well, I know that there is a way you can take a piece of bone, and I don't know how they do it, but somehow they can take a piece of bone and get the DNA from the bone itself, but that's...
From the marrow, yeah.
Yeah, an extensive process.
Expensive, too.
Yes. But I mean, I could see a judge doing it, but he would want, like, concrete
evidence.
It had to be for certain he did it, and the DNA was just like that final linking point.
Exactly. So the theory of all of this is John used this as a crime of opportunity, sees Sister Robin by herself, takes action, and leaves the scene after he was finished. He's a local known predator and is thought to stalk her enough to know her routine, and when he commits his crime of when he commits his crime of opportunity.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you stalk somebody enough, you know their ins and outs.
Oh,
especially someone who lives such a simplistic lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
As a nun and a postulant and stuff like that, you realize that they're very on target with what they do.
They have a schedule daily and they keep to it.
Unless there's like something of, in the community they're throwing like a charity event of some. So you get where we're going with this. The police never did confirm nor deny this theory to the public. Still to this day, most of the authorities believe it was John, but never had a way to prove it. 50 years later, it's still unsolved and will remain such unless granted to retrieve tissue DNA evidence from Sheplock's body.
Yes.
And then all we can do is hope and pray that the evidence holds the key that's already not too degraded to give us the answers to Sister Robin's murder.
Yes.
So, 50 years this has gone through.
He's 75. You said, 70. She was born in 1950. I'm sorry.
Are you done? You good? You figure it? You just call my mama old. You know that, right?
Your mom is not. I'm sorry, Christy. I love you. Please don't beat me with a Jesus spoon.
With a Jesus spoon. So there's not much to go off of that.
Did he have any kids?
Nope. Not that I could find.
Damn it. Any siblings?
Not that I could find.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Siblings is always an option too, because it would link close enough to tell you. Because that alone, if you took a child's or sibling's DNA and it came back with, it's this close, that alone could be enough for a judge to be like, all right, that's good enough. Now you can exhume.
Exactly, but being that all of her family members
are gone, there's no
and
pressure.
she was in that state of giving her life to the church.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not gonna sit here and they'll just chalk it up to a horrific event and not slanderize anybody else.
Yeah,
in the process, which is shitty because, like, who would want that? Honestly and truly, that's not fair for her. That's not fair for the idealistics of what it sets.
Yeah.
I mean, the Catholic faith already gets a bad rap.
Yeah, they do.
But when you have
I shouldn't make jokes. I'm related to a Catholic priest.
Exactly. So watch your mouth.
That and my sister-in-law said she wanted to watch my stuff. She probably shouldn't watch the one we released yesterday.
No. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, man. All right. So now let's talk about... Hold on. Sorry. Now let's talk about Maggie Long. She was just 17 years old when she was murdered. Authorities firmly believe that Maggie had arrived home and interrupted a burglary in progress, and she was murdered to keep the culprits from being discovered. After a 911 call and authorities arriving with the firefighters, once the fire was out, that is when Maggie's body would be discovered in her family's burned-down home in Park County, Colorado, just outside of Bailey. Local authorities and federal investigators are still searching for her killers to this day. Like, as recently as February of this year, they were putting out bulletins and different things.
Holy crap.
Yes. So, Maggie Long left Platte County, I'm going to say that's actually Platte Canyon High School on December 1st, 2017. She had planned on attending a concert she was managing. She went home to change clothes and get some snacks and refreshments for those attending the concert. But she never returned to the school. Maggie's car would be found outside her family's home off Park County Road 43. The house had been set on fire, and the authorities would later confirm it was arson, and Maggie's body was found inside of the burnt-out home. The local sheriff's office believes that Maggie had been killed sometime between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. After the fire was out, it was very apparent that the home had been burglarized, and it became clear to the officers that Maggie had most likely surprised the thieves, and that's what led to her murder.
So why is it so extensive between the hours of being killed and a fire? Because a fire will go up quick.
I'm wondering, I couldn't find much geographically, but from what I did see, I don't think there was another house too close that, someone would have seen the fire right away or anything like that. But, a neighbor does call 911. So it's got to be close enough. What I don't understand is they're saying 3 p to 7 p.m. She obviously, got out of school around 3. Maybe a little before, made it home. I'm wondering if maybe that's around the time the fire went out and they, maybe she was just so badly burnt they couldn't determine the time of death.
That still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because, okay, so my mom's dad was a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
And when a house catches fire,
yes,
it's quick.
Yes.
Because it's got enough stuff in there that it will create a fire so hot that it initially just feeds itself. Well,
and not to mention, I'm getting ready to tell you what was stolen. Some of the things that were stolen leads me to believe, okay, so among the items stolen from the Long residence was a green safe, a 9mm Beretta handgun, jade figurines, an AK-47 style rifle, and over 2,000 rounds of ammunition. If there was still ammunition in that house, anybody within the vicinity was going to be hearing pops after pops after pops.
Especially with it being that amount of amount. Yes.
So, I don't understand the time frame either. It doesn't make sense. It's very weird to me that a 4-hour window. That's strange.
Yeah.
I do think, maybe, again, kind of lack of investigation here, possibly, where they just went with, okay, this is when it went out, this is around when she would have gotten home. But I don't want to say because I don't know for sure, but it just doesn't sit right, I guess. So, when Maggie didn't show up at the concert, her older sister, Connie, said she had a gut feeling and that something just wasn't right. Maggie was very responsible and she would never flake on something like this, she said. So Connie called her sister, but there was no answer. So inevitably, she decided to drive to the family home, and she said, "When I got closer, my gut feeling got worse." As well as stating, "I drove up as close as I could, and that's when I saw the chaos. The fire trucks and our house burned down. I knew my gut feeling was right." According to the... What did I just do? Hold on. Messed up my stuff. According to the FBI, the sheriff's office responded to a house fire that night right after a 911 caller reported people were inside the residence causing damage. So obviously, had to have been neighbors close enough, whatever, that they... Yeah. How are you going to know someone's inside causing damage? So the FBI also stated that at least one male was on the property and that there was evidence a physical altercation had most definitely taken place between Maggie and her assailants before the fire was started. So to me, that makes me think the house couldn't have burned to that bad, that they would have had to have gotten out, because if you can still see the signs of a fight, shit thrown around, chairs flipped over, all kinds of that, you would have had to think they got it out sooner. So the time frame really doesn't
it doesn't fit at all.
No, that's really weird. The FBI would later release 3 sketches of potential suspects. It never said in anything I've read who they got these sketches from, though. I would assume, the neighbor that called, but if they were close enough, kind of like the last one we just did, if you're close enough to see these people, why not intervene?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. The CBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and FBI have stated that the possibility of an Asian American hate crime is strong here, but I also don't understand where they got this from, because they never really stated anything in anything I read on the CBI's page, the FBI's page. There was a dedicated website, but there's nothing that really kind of explains why they would assume Asian American hate crime.
Were they Asian?
She was an Asian American, yes.
Oh.
So, I mean...
Even what gets me is that we all know that racism is still,
yes.
really prevalent in the world. But I don't foresee it being so much a thing.
I really think it was just a crime of opportunity thing. They were there committing, the burglary, and she showed up. I really do firmly believe she just interrupted them, and she was a casualty of the burglary. Because, with what they stole, they knew what they were doing. They went in there for a safe, guns, ammo, and those jade figurines. They knew what they were doing, which also leads me to believe these people had to have known them somehow, because they knew what was in their house.
You're not wrong.
It's very weird. Why they stated this is not evident in anything I found. The CBI says there is a $75,000 reward for information that leads to charges, arrest, and convictions in Maggie's case. They also state that Maggie's case still has a fully functioning tip line dedicated to Maggie only, and it can be reached at 303-239-4243, as well as an official email for tips in her case, and it is maggie.long.tips@state.co.us. The CBI stated as recently as February 2026 that they remain committed to Maggie's family and the Bailey community, stating, "We will not rest until those responsible for this horrific crime are held accountable."
That's still
It's very weird. 3 sketches. I only found it on one article, so I didn't include it, but I'm going to talk about it. There was a possible vehicle that was seen in the vicinity that was mentioned the one time, never brought up again, never really clarified if they looked into that or anything like that. They did state that in a neighboring county there were similar break-ins.
Yeah.
So they thought, the possibility of, it was a string of things, and I also didn't see anywhere that the break-ins stopped after her murder. There's just not. This is one of those ones that there really isn't anything to it. I don't understand the time frame. I don't understand how you got 3 sketches, but only one neighbor called it in. It's weird. It's weird.
That would make you lead to the conspiracy theory of maybe the neighbor was involved.
Well, because I really do firmly believe that these people knew what they were going for.
Yeah.
Just to steal guns, a safe, jade figurines, and all that ammo, you had to have known what was in there. Had to.
But then that leads me to speculate of what made it the crime of opportunity to think that they could go through. Was it at random? Did they plan to just do it this day, or did they have a set schedule?
Mm-hmm.
And was there conflict within the family that these 3 sketches came forward because they had animosity with him, and it was known
That's
through
true. I didn't even think about that.
To the public. These people came up and they were known to having issues in town, and maybe that's where they got the sketches from, or they were some known shitheads who were racist pieces of shit in the town. Because those things do happen. Yeah.
Which, it 100% could be an Asian American hate crime. I just couldn't really see where they got that angle from, other than, obviously her family is Asian American. but I never saw anything that stated, anyone thought ill of her or her family. Like, from what little I read, she was a typical teenage girl. She was well liked, in high school, living her best life. But I didn't see anything that made me think there was animosity. But again, teenagers don't tell everybody everything. There could have been,
But was it just the animosity towards the teenage girl, or was there animosity towards the entire family?
Yeah, that's
Were they
true.
having trouble in town? Like, there's different ways you can look at it. But to get to that point, you would need more than what they're just laying out as far as, well, this is what we think it is. Well, how did you get to that point?
Yes.
Why do you think it's that way?
Well, and to me, this is probably the freshest, I know it sounds weird, but the freshest cold case we've done. I mean, it's 2017. So, I mean, 9 years ago, it literally was just 8 years ago in December. So, I mean, the likelihood that this case, of all the ones we've covered so far, could get solved is a lot higher.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I would hope that this is one that her family can get justice, doesn't have to wait 20, 30 years like some of these ones we've seen. But
I support it, because in the same aspect, it's like, since we started doing this, it's open, because I've always been like the true crime junkie. You have to, but it's opened my eyes into a lot of different scenarios now, because I'm like, I look at things different when we're out in public. I look at things just because of having to do these deep dives and whatnot. I couldn't imagine having to deal with that kind of hate, like the road rage case, her case, the nun's case, or any of them. Because there's no way in my heart, like, I dislike a lot of people.
But I'm not about to go off you because you pissed me off. Like,
you're not wrong.
Exactly. Like, I feel like we're kind of on the same page there. Like, yeah, we got some ill feelings towards the motherfuckers, but I'm not about to go hurt you for that. Shit.
No, just because that's how I feel don't mean I'm fixing to get the God to get.
Bitch, I know I'm crazy, but I'm not
ain't that crazy. Yeah.
I'm medicated.
Love it.
Oh, man.
But thank you for joining us on this mini episode. Now that I'm out of work until we figure out what's going on with my arm, we'll probably have a lot more time to deep dive in getting these cases a little bit more detailed, hopefully.
If y'all want to throw suggestions our way about some old cold cases, we would.
My nanny did.
Love that.
She sent me. She's like, "Hey, you need to check this out."
My aunt did too, but I haven't found much about it. I'm trying to dig a little more on that for her because I know she really wants me to do it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and like when I look at it, it's in my notebook of
possibilities. Yes.
Well, it's not even possibilities. Like, I'm gonna cover it, but I want to make sure that I do it justice into the fact of like, okay, my nanny's listening. Let me go.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, my aunt done took the time out of her day to find me a case. I'm like, man, I gotta do this right, because if not, Aunt Barbie gonna be a little mad at me. And yes, I said Aunt Barbie. That's what she prefers.
And it's like our moms, how they are always like diving in with us and wanting to. But I feel because it's our moms, there are every chick's gonna love her hen. Well, every hen's gonna love her chicks. So they're gonna. It's so great. It's so great.
Nah, Miss Christie be like, y'all need to quit looking at your computers. Y'all need to look at the cameras. Y'all need to do this. We still love you though. Well, and I'm sorry I called you old. I didn't mean to.
But until we get the room up, we won't have the monitor that we can just read from then.
I can't wait to be able to just look straight up, like have our cameras next to us and the screen. I can't wait for that. It'll look so much better.
It will. This is just kind of like a makeshift as of right now until we can actually get the room finished.
We's almost there.
We still have a lot of sanding to do.
Yeah, because Cole put that shit on too thick.
Is that yours or is that mine?
I don't know.
We're gonna end up having to electrical tape this stuff.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah, Cole, you heard it here. You put way too much putty on the walls.
It's not ugly. It's literally plaster. You just need a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I'd call him by his middle name, but he'd get mad.
Randall.
I always do, and he makes me mad. It works great.
Love it. I love it.
But thanks for watching, and we will see you for our next episode.
We sure will. And I just want to say, one last thing.
Uh-oh.
We had a moss walker in the wild.
I did! Thank you for watching, Andrew. I was so excited. It was fantastic.
We had a moss walker in the wild. I was pretty happy about that.
I'm stoked.
And we have gone international in such a short time. We have viewers from across the pond in ways that I didn't expect. We've got Canada. We've got Iraq. We've got Morocco. We've got Bangladesh. We've got Venezuela.
Thanks for listening, y'all. I know we're weird. Appreciate you spending your time with us.
You have no idea.
You should see the things we cut out. Y'all don't see half of it.
It's terrible. And then we also had our first hater too, by the way.
Yeah, fuck them.
I feel like if we don't have haters, it's not real.
That's true. You can have your opinions. I got mine.
They're like, so our hater decided to tell us that we sounded like a bunch of ignorant idiots and to get off the air, and I politely told them that this is our podcast, and if you don't like it, it's so easy not to listen and watch.
Exactly.
And if you want to change something, how about you make your own? So there's that.
We're a bunch of freaking weirdos. Sorry about it. I just realized how high that was up.
You know what? It's fine. Because, you can, duck and dot. You can barely see mine.
That's
So,
alright.
I need one of them little things. But
I don't know where I got it.
it would be...
But thanks for watching. We appreciate y'all.
Yes.
And it was great.
We love you guys.
Yes.
And tune in for the next one.
Bye.
Bye.